they were quite interesting contrast, those two films, weren't they? And I'd like to ask Veronica to come to the stage to talk about the film. How do you pronounce it? How do you pronounce the title of your film?
Anatidae.
There you are. I'm glad I asked you to it.
It's Latin.
Okay, well we'll ask, well you can explain that in a minute. And the music video was made by Treacy, and can Liam come to the stage? Bring all your friends if you want, yeah, no problem, have a seat. So, well, Veronica, I hear you shot that on 16mm and you developed it yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you got a developing tank, or did you do the scrunch it up in the bucket technique?
With a tank, with a Russian Lomo tank.
Right.
You just can get on eBay for 80 quid.
Was it a Lomo tank?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I do that.
Well,
that's the way
I've never met you before, but 2 weeks ago I had a Cornish filmmaker in my living room called Mark Jenkins, who's an exceptionally good filmmaker, who is currently going through an obsessed with film phase. And he came to see me because I've got access to a CP16 camera. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, CP16 was the kind of camera that used to be used for shooting television reports before they went video. In fact, the one I've got, the one I have, it's not mine, it belongs to a trust that I'm a charity at, used to shoot all the stories in Cornwall because it belonged to West Country Television. And when West Country Television all became whatever, went all video, they gave it to us. And he wanted to borrow this camera, but he started to shoot. He was shooting on Rolex. You know,
Yeah,
Rolex.
that's what I use. Yeah, Rolex.
But because he hadn't been able to find a tank, he'd been scrunching up the film, developing it in his bathroom.
You can do that as well.
Yeah. But so I think you've got your cellmate there in Cornwall. And I must
There are a few of us.
Yeah, that's
a few
right.
scattered around.
In fact, last week I rang him while I was here. Sure. You've just stolen my beer.
You know, kids are.
Don't worry. Yeah, he's actually went on a course in London this week about developing your own 16mm
Yeah, well,
films.
probably went to the same course. I'm actually going to start running courses like that in Manchester.
Okay.
So anyone is interested in 16mm DIY hand processing at home.
Well, he was actually, because he could get it and get it cheap, he was using Fuji colour stock.
Okay.
Rather than black and white, because it was cheaper, and he was developing it. He was I'm a photographer. Anyway, so how come you got so into shooting on 16mm?
Well, I've been making films for many years, and I studied at Slade School of Fine Arts, so I'm more of a fine art kind of background. Okay. So that kind of explains why it's non-narrative experimental. And I just really, I'm a photographer as well, black and white, analog, darkroom, and I started using the moving image, as an extension of that, and I don't like digital. So I use Hi8, I use VHS, and I use 16mm. And what I love about it, apart from it looks amazing, apart from my film looks like shit, because it got really scanned so badly that you can see the pixels. It's not meant to look like that. It's just the guy who scanned the film didn't do a good job at all. But anyway, I like the fact that I can do it all by myself, that it looks really amazing, really kind of, I guess retro. It would be, I like the dirt, I like the, the bits of hair that you get, and I like that you can cut it, you can splice it, you can put it together, you can actually see it. It's 16mm, I mean, you can get any better than that. And you can do it for no money. I mean, I didn't spend, you asked the guy before, I didn't spend £100 on this, just the stock.
But you've got your own
camera.
You've got an H16, is that what you shoot on?
Yeah, Bolex
H16. Very standard 16mm camera, which only takes 100-foot reels.
Yeah.
Which last, what is that, 4 minutes? 3
minutes.
Yes, that's right.
And there's hang wine. Yeah. And then you get a tank, and then you get the chemicals from the photography shop.
Well, I found mine at a car boot sale in Cornwall for 30 quid.
Wow.
That's a good buy.
That's a good buy.
Okay, anyone got any questions for Veronica?
But did you do it at different speeds? You know, like you say, you can hand wind it. Can you do it like at the speed that you want?
Yeah, yeah. You can do slow-mo and, you know.
Because the bits with the sea look like a kind of different, like a really nice kind of rhythm to it. Like, yeah, just look like a different speed as well.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I probably did
yeah.
something like that, yeah.
It's really nice.
Thanks.
Anyone else? Oh, well, should we move on? We can chop and change. And tell us how your project came about then. Liam.
Well, the...
And what's your name, sorry?
It's Chris.
This is Chris. Chris what?
Chris Holloway.
And what was your role in there?
Just equal sort of parts.
Yeah.
This is your joint project?
Yeah, rather than saying one director, one producer, it's kind of like just, you know, there's a guy sat there with dreadlocks. He's in a band called The Fevers, who are from Chorlton. Chris went to uni with most of them. They got in contact with him and said, we've got a single coming out. Do you fancy doing a video for us? And then Chris knew I'm really into filmmaking, making short films and things like that. Done a couple of music videos myself and said, do you fancy making a music video? So we sent me the track over, I really, really liked it. So we just sort of...
Could you talk up a bit? We haven't got a piano.
Sorry, yeah. And then we just spent ages sort of brainstorming. And it took us ages to come up with this idea of it. We really wanted to sort of do a really low budget, trashy DIY fun video, yeah. I mean, we had so much fun making it. And something that didn't take itself too seriously. And it's definitely gotten like the best reaction. Like, I'm showing it to like friends and family and things like that. And, yeah, he always gets the laughs in all the right places and things like that.
How long did it take you to shoot it?
To shoot it?
Collectively, it was about
2-3 days.
Yeah, 3 full days. But we planned a full day that didn't work out, so we had to like wait a month and have another full day that didn't work out, and then a month later we had another full day that didn't work out. So it's like, but collectively it was about 3 days worth of shooting.
Right. Anyone got any questions about it? Come on now, it was a good video.
Where did you get the idea of put bag on the head?
We wanted to show that the character was dead, and we'd come up with ideas of mummies and things like that, and we just thought it was a bit cliche and just wanted something simple, instantly recognisable, crosses on their eyes, simple and they were dead.
The first day of shooting, Chris blew an absolute ton of money in Asda on toilet roll, and he tried to wrap himself in this toilet roll and it didn't work out, so we only got to this bag idea through our original idea not working. But I think it worked out a lot better, and it's probably a bit more original as well.
So saying the cross on the eyes with the main guy, and then you see obviously the love hearts on the other, and then there's was that significant for like different people?
Generally,
love interest.
Everyone had crosses on their eyes.
Right. Okay.
People had different colours crosses just to show that they were different characters. And then the girl did have crosses on her eyes as soon as she saw the main character.
The love heart.
The love heart. Yeah.
I did like the shade in that part. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
We both got that out. Yeah. That's pretty good. Was the strings as well? Was that meant to be apparent?
Yeah.
On the book, right?
Yeah.
I just thought, I kind of thought it was a fun one, but I just thought, but I then thought,
Some people do sort of go, we can see the strings, you know.
Hey, Thunderbirds are good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Where did you get the idea for Dead Book from? Because I know Facebook tributises the pages of dead people, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So if you die, your page is forever
I don't know, it was
lockdown. But I was just wondering, there's a cat book, a dog book, a fish book. Is there really a dead book?
No, it's just a quick sort of
Not yet.
family shop on the fly. But,
Maybe you should start one.
Yeah, probably should, yeah.
I had a little giggle at party.
Is anyone else? Oh, sorry, carry on.
Where can you hear more of the music?
The
SoundCloud page.
Yeah, the Facebook.
Dead Book.
The Dead Book.
Oh, brilliant.
For the next single, we shot it shot half of it in Manchester City Centre, and that's another one of these things where we shot part of it and then we've got to wait ages to shoot another part and then ages to shoot another part, but it's on its way. Yeah.
Excellent. just going back to Veronica's project, is there anyone else here who's been shooting on film, Super 8 or anything? Anyone here? No. Have you done much on Super 8? You didn't mention Super 8.
Yeah, my first film now was 19, so that's 20 years ago. Was on Super 8, and then I done bits and bobs. Yeah, but I prefer 16mm because it costs the same amount of money, and you get a better image. I don't know.
Is there any way you can get 16mm processed in Manchester, or does it have to go to London? Or
I think I don't know of anywhere in Manchester now.
Sorry, what was your inspiration? Because I watched that and two things came to mind: the ring, the waterfall, you know, the well,
Yeah.
and then Eraserhead, David Lynch,
Okay.
and maybe even to an extent Silent Hill, you know, the computer game, but the trailers towards the computer game, the graining. But obviously, you just said that graininess wasn't meant to be. But ironically, you found a kind of horror style towards it, and with the music as well, which kind of sounded a bit Japanese samurai for me.
Yeah.
It kind of smelled the odour of the ring. Have you ever seen a ring?
Yeah.
Is that what you wanted, or is that just accidental?
I think I think it's just really it's only a cliff with water and some ducks. So everything else and some.
Well, actually, she jumps off the cliff. You know.
Yeah.
Well, that's why it's just
so
it's
those
just the grainness.
Those are your cultural references that you bring into it.
Yeah.
You know, where you've seen other people probably thought of other things. You know, for me, I don't know. I don't know what my influences are really. I guess every film I've seen is an influence.
Subconsciously.
Yeah.
But remember, when you're shooting on film, you've got 3.5 minutes. You haven't got hours. So
And I use every shot, every little bit, of course. You know, I shoot very consciously over. You know, every second counts. Yeah.
Maybe I missed this question, if there was this question about, I lost myself. What does Anatidae mean?
It's the duck family. It's the scientific name for the duck family, geese, etc. Yeah.
Oh, actually, I've got another question. The first shot, what was that stuff that was involved?
They were algae.
Algae.
You know,
It looked like
from the
like,
cliff.
yeah, like thread or hair, yeah. It looked amazing, that.
But for me, I got from it, you got like this silent water, and you got the ducks,
Yeah.
and then you got the rage of the sea that could potentially kill people. So you got the opposite of both, the calm before the storm. That's what I got
That's
from it.
interesting.
So
Yeah.
you got life and death in both different depiction of different, you know. That's what I got from it anyway.
Yeah.
I am on orange juice as well. I'm not on beer.
Yeah. So you know the theme. You know the theme for me is one. For you will be you'll see death and you see.
It's all subjective, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, and that's because it has no story.
Yeah.
You know. So then it's like a poem. You know, it's like an abstract poem.
Yeah.
Visual poem.
Okay.
anyone else? Well, the discussion can be continued at the interval, which is going to be after the next film. So, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Okay.